Rwby Talk returns.
Okay,
Oh
so
my god. David, you want to start out on this one?
yeah, I might as well. Uh, who the fuck replaced them
Everyone, the
last
whole
season?
team.
Like, did they just go like, "You're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired"?
I wonder.
You're all hired. Fix our shit.
I'm telling you, like, ever since the Adam trailer, mixed with Carrie's letter about, like, knowing the issues with the season, I've gotten the vibe.
They're just standing around and talking.
He knew. And I just, ever since then, I've gotten the vibe that they were well aware of how shitty it was. Like, maybe not all of them. I know you and I have talked about how Miles doesn't seem to know from his tweets, but Carrie, at least, seemed to know that volumes 4 and 5 were a little bit of a mess. This episode...
Praise be Lord Carrie Shawcross.
Yeah, fucking cue the angel Carrie just descending. This episode's phenomenal. Like, it actually... There's some... It actually gave me a really happy, joyous feeling. And I'm really giddy right now because back in, like fresh out of high school, going into college, I was a huge Rwby fan. And this was around the time Volume 3 was just coming out. Volume 2 had been out for a while. Volume 3 was just coming out. I was huge into Rwby. It was one of my favorite shows of all time. I had posters, figures. I was going the whole 9 yards. I was even considering cosplaying Ozpin at one point. But then, like, ever since 4 and 5 had come out, I was just, like, really losing my passion for it. And if this continues this trend, I could see my passion for Rwby being reignited. And that just makes me really happy, because I still, at the core, love this world, love the characters, and when it's done right, it's done fucking right.
And this episode, I have to say, was done right.
Yeah. So, you want to start on some of the things you found that were good, David?
Okay, so is it me or does the battles actually have weight again?
Yes! Yes! Okay, so examples. Perfect examples of this. Let's talk about that shot. First of all, so you know how you and me were, like, talking about how we wanted team battles back? Like, actual...
Yeah, well, this whole fucking episode was
good, though, because here's the difference. Like, they've tried to do team battles in 4 and 5, but it just ended up, like... the whole cast standing in one room, and it would, like, it didn't feel like a team battle. It felt like a bunch of 1v1s. This felt like a team battle.
Like fucking Yang and Blake teaming up like they did with the fucking mech. Mm-hmm. We had Crow and Rwby decapitate a fucker.
Like, that shit felt like some old school Rwby. Like, that reminded me immediately of that one scene where Ruby's running up the cliffside, decapitating the
right,
Grim.
for the Nevermore.
Oh my god. Like, that scene, everyone was included. You had Weiss breaking its wings, you had, Yang and Blake tying it up, and then Crow and Rwby with the scythes. Shing! And that's even more of a, like, beautiful symbolic thing, because we know that Rwby trained under Crow and developed her weapon inspired by Crow. So to see them kind of have that moment as uncle and niece, double decapitating the scythe love. It's like, you remember when Weiss and Rwby high-fived and were like, it's a combat skirt? Like, I want Crow and Rwby to be like, motherfucking scythes.
Okay, and another thing that was just fucking beautifully done is where Crow turned into the bird and then fucking Nani behind.
Teleports behind you, nothing personal, kid.
It's just fucking entire episode.
You're entirely right about them having weight, right? So one of the complaints that we had heard is that characters felt floaty. It seems like even that scene that you were talking about there, when Crow is a bird and then he turns back into his normal human self, and then the gravity takes him back, and he kind of uses the gravity as the cutting force. Like,
exactly.
And then another scene that I really loved was when Rwby, once again, doing what I used to love about Rwby. I used to make the whole complaint, like, you know how I like Rwby fighting? Like she did in the Red trailer, where physics made sense. She used the explosion force from her gun to propel herself. When she did that scene where she wraps her scythe around and then boom back and cuts off the Grimm's legs, bro.
Yeah. It's fucking phenomenal. They are trying to address every complaint here.
Have you ever heard that saying?
If we continue down this path.
Say again? I'm sorry?
If we continue down this path, we might see Rwby redeemed.
We really might. Like, if we get a whole season like this, Oh my god. Now, have you ever heard that saying, fear is the best motivator for evolution?
Yeah.
I truly
and I
believe.
think
This is my thoughts. I think that they had a big boardroom meeting. Like, guys, listen, we're fucked if we don't get our shit in gear. Because it was not a minority that was angry about these seasons. If you go and look at the dislikes, it's not like it was a little piddly fucking section of the fandom. A lot of people that loved Rwby were like, this is getting bad. You know, so I think it was fear. I think out of fear, they were like, we gotta revamp everything.
and they've kind of done that. Like,
So, like, let's go through a list, right? So, backgrounds, more detailed. The amount of characters and shit, everything feels lively. The airport, they didn't just say, oh, we made it closed to save on animating budget, you know? They didn't do that.
okay, but can we talk about my boy Neptune just fucking off in another direction?
Bro!
Like,
Dude,
here and then they're gone. He's there, and then they write him out of the show. That pissed me off.
No, he wasn't gonna come with them. They're actually doing other shit, and as long as we see scenes, I want to see scenes of what they're doing at some point. I hope at least as like a little cutaway.
Just like, oh, here's a team. Here's Sun's team and Vacuo.
Well, here's what I'm hoping that means, right? If Sun is going to do shit with his team, which by the way made me happy because I love Sun's team and I want to see more of Sun's team. Here's my thoughts, right? If they're sending Sun off to go to his team right now, that means that whenever he comes back, he's going to come back with his whole team. Think about that.
Which means we can get more Gavin free.
Dude, you want to, as an Achievement Hunter fan, Gavin and Michael being on the same team is the best thing ever. They are boys. The summer boys.
The summer boys. Shout out to Super Bunny.
Summer boy, bro. You know how Rwby always makes Achievement Hunter references? Like Flint Cole and shit?
Yeah.
I want Gavin Free's character and Sun. I want a shot of them on jet skis just having fun. And he's like, summer boys!
God damn it.
Summer boys, bro. That'd be the best thing ever. Because their friendship is so real. So for them to be on like the same team in a fictional universe, it makes me happy. Like, it's great. So yeah, we need more from Gavin's character and that other guy that has never even spoken, you know?
Right?
Who's that gonna be? Can we get that? Like, Ryan already voices someone. Jeremy's got a voice. No, it's a black guy, isn't it? Fuck. There's no one black. Alfredo. Is he black? Does he count?
I think he's Latino of some sort.
Can you imagine Alfredo voicing that other guy? Hey, son, how's it going, man? I hope you guys are Achievement Hunter fans watching this. Otherwise, none of this is going to make any sense.
Right?
Oh, my God. But
the
yes.
fuck are these idiots talking about? Dislike.
Watch Achievement Hunter, you plebs. Oh
my God.
Fucking yes, Neptune showing up was great, and that just goes to how we were talking about the character is back. Like my other complaint, my two biggest complaints were of the last season were the shitty fights and how the characters didn't feel like themselves anymore. They're really like it feels like early Rwby again, and especially like the little like you know how they'd occasionally be like little 2D cutouts of like doing things. So like a couple scenes I noticed was when they talked about, like, the beach, like, going to the beach, Ren's little fucking, like, oh, I could show off my epic abs, you know, and then, and then when they're talking to those two fucking, like, oh, we could protect you, and then, like, Crow's telling them off, and in the background, Yang and Rwby are like, yeah, like, I love it.
Yeah, that, fucking, it's just beautiful, just them fucking shitting on those two shitty huntsmen.
Oh my God. So yeah, no, but you're right though. So like, we are seeing it's just like it's like they heard the complaints. Cause we even did a video where one of the things we talked about was characters we want to see return. And on top of that list was motherfucking Neptune. And it's such perfect timing cause you're cosplaying Neptune. I love that he's back.
Right?
It's perfect. So yeah, let's see. Other things. So How do you feel about the relic attracting Grimm? Like that when he said that, I was like, he's like, it attracts Grimm, and I'm like, of course it does. Of course it fucking does.
Yeah, plot device 101.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna be angry about that because it makes I hope that there's more of an explanation other than it just does. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of the it just does things.
I mean, It depends on what the relics do. See, we don't really know a lot about the relics. What we do know attracts Grimm is negative emotions. So if the relics have to do with that, then it would make sense. So like if later we find out the relics were created by like some Full Metal Alchemist style, like we took a bunch of fucking sad people and shoved them into a crystal. I don't fucking know.
God damn. Okay, this definitely is playing more on the shonen, not the seinen.
You'd be surprised. I think Rwby can get dark. You know what? Speaking of dark, let's talk about a scene that I really liked. And not even just the scene, but like the shot, like the direction of it was really good. When Adam's walking back in and they're like, we're not going to follow you anymore. And it's just like,
Yeah, none of that was shown. It was just implied. And then you see the pile of corpses going up to his fucking throne.
I thought that was a really well shot scene because it was kind of cool. How,
until he Kylo Ren'd it.
Yeah, he did. I was like, whoa. Like, Adam is a strange character because it is the people talking to him are not wrong. He got fucking wrecked. And by Blake. And yet he just comes in and solos everybody.
You got defeated by the Belladonna girl.
Okay. Are you ready for some headcanon? Here's the headcanon, okay? They could very easily say that the reason he got that easily stomped by Blake is because he has, like, weird feelings for her, you know?
Yeah.
That might be what it is.
I could see it, but still, like...
It's strange. It's a bad scene, for sure. Season 5. We're talking about Season 5 when she just headbutts him. It's not good. But, I mean, they could, like... Because clearly they're trying to rectify shit in this season, and if they need to fucking retcon some shit to pretend that Season 4 and 5 didn't exist, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with retcon pretty much all of it.
Yeah, how about Ren using his semblance to mask everybody with Jean amplifying his quirk? That was a pretty cool scene. I liked how it was like... Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, fading
how
into black.
How about Crow just shoving the motherfucker up against the...
Yeah. By the way, I straight up thought his arm was just going to be off.
Yeah, I did too, and then, it's just a bruise. Oh, what a bitch.
Shit. Like, that fucking train was going so fast, his arm should have just been yeeted right off his body.
Pretty much, like...
Other lines I like.
It would have been interesting to see how they incorporated John's fucking semblance, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's like an RPG, and he's like the buff. You know, he buffs people.
Oh, yeah, but could he buff a whole arm back?
No, I mean, I think that... I imagine he's just... because the way I always understood it is aura heals...
It's essentially light hands.
Well, kind of. But, like, aura... I believe aura heals naturally, and he's just amplifying his aura around his arm to make it heal quicker.
Pretty much. That's what it makes... That makes the most sense, anyway.
At least it's not Orihime level.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bleach.
You had some broken-ass powers, Bleach.
Yeah. The power that could surpass God, except that one time where she was in front of God and couldn't surpass him. That happened, by the way.
Pretty fucking much.
Oh boy, Kubo. Anyway, let's see. Other moments to talk about. Just a line I liked. I really liked when Weiss is like, just my luck. And she's like, no. And then Crow's like, no, it's not yours. I was like, this poor guy.
I'm just looking at Crow like, protect the pure bastard.
I know, I'm like, bruh. Crow, what happened to traveling separate from them? If you honestly think you're causing this, why in the hell are you here?
Right?
I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. It sucks. I mean, maybe they should actually do a scene. I would love a scene where he's just like, he's kind of struggling, where he's like, I know I should leave, but I really want to spend time with my nieces, you know? Like, that'd be really sad.
I don't get to be the uncle figure.
Yeah, he was about to kick their ass in video games, as you do when you're best uncle.
And then the world went to shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, so let's see here. But no, I mean, I think that Oh, yeah, let's talk about the guy that died. Like, RIP Soldier number 1.
Yeah, you had an interesting weapon, and we don't want to risk the animation budget.
Well, at first I thought maybe he didn't die, but then right after that was the scene where Ruby's like, "Don't let anyone else die," and I'm like, "He's dead? Holy shit!"
Yeah, he got dropped by the Griffin Grimm.
We never saw him get dropped. I think he just got he flew away with him. I didn't see him die.
Well, I mean, Torchwick, except for let's talk about that opening real quick. Was that Torchwick's fucking hat in Neo?
Was it? Whoa, I did not see that. When during the opening.
The open, it's like almost at the end of the opening.
I saw the opening. No, Torchwick better not be back. That'd be stupid. But I do need Neo back.
That's the number one fandom.
Neo's best girl best ice cream waifu.
Goddamn right. Best mute ice cream waifu.
Yeah, and you do not have her talk. She shall never talk. Leave her out. Don't make her talk. But yeah, I mean, I guess final thoughts and predictions, David. I mean, no, let's talk about Goggle Granny real quick. So it ends and Goggle Granny's just there. So they have to deal with Goggle Granny now, as we've coined her. Thoughts on her? She's interesting to me.
I don't know. Like, we've got one line from her.
Yeah, I like her goggles, honestly. They're designed well. And I also like the part, the opening is cool, and in the opening, like, it goes into her goggles, they open, and then it comes out of Rwby's silver eyes. So, I imagine they'll be important. I'm curious.
Okay, let's talk about the opening, though, as well.
Yeah, so which part of the opening you want to talk about?
So, was that all of Ozpin's renditions?
Yes, that was clearly the fucking Avatar Last Airbender-esque line of fucking successors. That was interesting.
Yeah, so he's kind of like the Doctor at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I noticed that this is a trope in a lot of stuff, which I can't even get mad at it at this point. It's done everywhere. My Hero does it. Doctor Who does it. Avatar Last Airbender does it, you know. It's the passing along of power. As long as it's done in at least slightly different way, it's alright. I do kind of like... I even think that they've improved Ozpin and Oscar as characters, because I kind of hated them in the last couple seasons, but I really liked how they were kind of like going through the whole, like, no, I want to stay in control. Okay, you can, you know. And it's interesting that I like that they were asking Ozpin, like, why the fuck did you not tell us this earlier? And Ozpin kind of looked guilty about that. Like, he was like, you know?
But shit, I probably should have done that. Man, I continue to be a complete and utter fuck up.
Oh, I just remembered the line that I loved from Ozpin, which made him, like, it reminded me of old school Ozpin again, and I loved it. Where the two douche bros come up, and then Ozpin's like, I hope they didn't graduate from Beacon. That was great! I was like, oh, that's such a good Ozpin line.
Like, goddamn.
Okay, final thoughts on that, though. Let me think here. Yeah, so I guess, Mike, where do you think we're going forward? Because my only concern, I have two concerns. Concern number one, and this is if I, like, stretching for complaints, because I can't just dick suck it the whole time. So concern number one is Rwby is better. She's having her, like, nerd moments more. She's having her little geeky freak out moments more. I still find that when action happens, all of her lines are stereotypical shonen stuff. So, like,
oh yeah, definitely.
She's the one, she's coming in like, it doesn't matter now. We just have to protect people. Please turn off the turrets. Like, I would like to see her as a bit more of a flawed character, personally. Like, she's allowed to be mad at Ozpin. Like, it actually kind of annoyed me that she wasn't mad at Ozpin. Like, I know that they were going for. They were like, oh, look, she's so mature because she wants to help the people before questioning Ozpin on this. But, like, I don't think it would hurt her. In fact, I think it would help her character if she was able to get a little annoyed about that too. She doesn't have to be this perfect little angel all the time, you know what I mean? So I think a character flaw or two would help her in that regard. She doesn't have to be this, like, perfect, like, angel all the time. That's the only thing. Rwby's character, I just think, occasionally delves into, like, the shonen tropey, let's protect everybody, but not horrible. It's a lot.
Nobody has to die today.
And then
shout out to Hazel. You were a great villain, but you just completely shit the bed.
I'm hella concerned about I saw him in the opening, and I was like, can you redeem Hazel from Volume 5? Because you fucked him hard.
No. There's fucked, and then there's getting violated by a bad dragon dildo fucked.
Although we got Watts in there. Maybe Watts can be cool. Also, yeah, speaking of the opening, the fucking shot where Salem's like, rah, screaming, like, I really hope they make Salem. Salem needs to be interesting this volume. It's time to make her interesting. Otherwise, I don't care about her.
My normie minions!
My normie minions! Face me and my army of normies.
Like, let's face it, none of them, aside from Emerald, really have any personality that's beyond one dimension, though. Mercury, but Mercury's so fucking generic in his...
Yeah,
I kick things. I'm Sanji.
Alright, fair enough. Now, so, my only other concern, here it is, okay? The train has crashed, and now they are walking again. And we all know how walking is in Rwby. I'm so nervous.
No, I do not want this to be a season full of walking.
They're just standing there and walking. Okay, so
they're just walking again.
Okay, so here's what needs to happen. One, first I'll lay out the worst case scenario. So worst case scenario here is that they blew all their budget and effort on this episode, and the rest is like season 4, and they're just walking. That's my fear. Now I'm gonna hope that that's not the case, and I hope that max it takes them 1 episode to get to where they're going. Just fucking time skip. Like, well, okay, now we're here. Don't fucking have a season of walking, please, for the love of God. Now, best case scenario, if they're smart with this, they'll, like I said, they'll get there right away, or they'll have actually interesting landmarks and shit to look at. But if they're gonna take a long time walking there, the shit that they're encountering on the way has to be plot relevant. Because they can't just cut away to what different people are doing because the whole team is here now. Unless, like I said earlier, as they're walking, we cut over to Sun and his team jet ski and being summer boys. Although he'd have to...
You really want that?
Yes! And then they could fucking, like, strap Neptune to the jet ski like, you're coming, motherfucker! I don't give a fuck about your fear. He's just, like, zip-tied to the back of the fucking... water. Can you imagine them just, like, zip-tying Neptune to the back of the jet ski? Like, summer boys or bust!
Summer boys or bust. Jesus Christ.
So, yes, hopefully they're gonna be smart. Because, again, if they're smart enough to make this episode this good, they can't be dumb enough to make the rest of the season horrible. So, it's time. Prove your worth. What you have done now, Rooster Teeth and Team Rwby, if by some chance you watch this, because I have heard that sometimes they watch videos like this, thank you for this episode. It's phenomenal. Continue it throughout the whole season, and you have officially revitalized Rwby as one of my top 10 shows. That, please. I wish nothing but the best for you and your team, because right now this is God tier. Final thoughts on the episode, David.
Final thoughts. Goddamn, this makes my pee-pee become the hard pee-pee.
Oh, God. Why? That's a meme, folks. Look up the meme.
But goddamn, dude,
it's the big pee-pee, by the way, that you're thinking.
Oh, I don't care. This fucking episode was godly. I just want the rest of the goddamn season to be this good.
That was the true test. It really is. This is it. Like, this is like... it's very rare where you're watching a show and you get to a moment that's this important. Like, there is not a lot of moments where you're watching a show and it's like, this arc is very important. If it's not good, the series is fucked. Like, so I do not envy the stress that Rooster Teeth is probably feeling right now. But so far, they're knocking it out of the park. I guess we'll end off with predictions for next episode.
Predictions, we'll get some info on Goggle Granny.
Goggle Granny?
Right now, I'm seeing on the Reddits and the Tumblrs that she has obviously something to do with the silver eyes because of the opening.
I wonder.
There's been theories that maybe she's Ruby's grandma.
Bleh. Bleh. No. I never like that trope where it's like, we ran into some random fucker. Oh, they're related to me. Get out of here.
I really don't want that to be the case either.
I'm trying to think what she could be. So she's clearly, if she's on a train, she's clearly on their way to, is it Atlas they're going to?
Basically, yes.
Okay. Which, by the way, one other quick aside that I forgot to mention, I do love that Weiss brought up the fact that she's like, you do realize that I just escaped from Atlas, and now we're going back. I did like that.
You have the entirety of Team Rwby by your side.
That was cute. You know what? I keep thinking of more shit, which is why I'm glad. Okay, one last thing I gotta mention. The ship The shipping vibes between Blake and Sun were real, and you can't even deny.
They were real, but Sun essentially just yeeted her in the other direction.
I think Sun's
You're where you need to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're where you need to be. Go to your waifu.
Well, honestly, I think that's one of the most respectful things that a man can do. Like, he's clearly got the thirst for Blake, but he was able to put aside the thirst because he sees that how happy she is with her friends. I think that's pretty respectable.
Oh, yeah. I'm not denying that. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, the shipping vibes in the opening for Renora and freaking White Rose with the...
Let's just make White Rose canon. Stop fucking around. One last thing, too.
Well, it's already canon in the fandom's eyes. Then again, everybody's fucking in the fandom's eyes.
Everything's canon in the fandom eyes. Do you realize how many fan arts of Neo I've seen? I've seen fan arts of Neo and Yang, like, playing volleyball. Is that canon? Neo's everywhere, by the way. Neo in the according to the Reddit, Neo might as well be part of Team Rwby. She's our silent waifu small child. So
protect.
Other thing I like is that Blake is very clearly feeling awkward as fuck about kind of bailing on Yang at season 3 because she's like trying to be like, oh, I'll help you, and Yang's like, relax, it's gonna take time, it's gonna be awkward for a bit, but we'll be good. So that was kind of cool. I thought that was well written as well.
Right.
But yeah,
like,
so yep.
Like, I just want what we saw today with the team battles. I just want that chemistry to exist for the rest of the season.
Yes.
Because that was what made season 3 so goddamn unique.
What made season 1 through 3 so good. Like, Monty was a goddamn...
But 3 in particular, because of the fucking Vinyl Festival, you had to see them be extra creative with shit. And now that they're older and more seasoned on the battlefield, we can see even more unique shit for them in the battle. So I just want that, and I also want my ice cream waifu back. God damn it, give me my ice cream waifu.
Especially considering that I personally consider Neo to be one of the strongest people in the series. Like, the way she just handled Yang, like, it was you don't phase me, motherfucker. I think that they're gonna make Neo as strong as, like, I think on strength level wise, I consider her like on fucking like Salem's people level. You know what I mean? Like I think she could go toe to toe with like Hazel or fucking Watts personally.
I would love to see that. But other predictions, I want to see who this goddamn dude that descended like a Super Saiyan is.
Yeah, in the trailer. Yeah. Ah, God. I mean, it might be Watts. I'd have to look at what he's wearing again and compare it, but I imagine it's gonna be one of Salem's people. My hopes for the season go as follow. 1, this is a big one. Now is the time. Salem has been, by the time this volume ends, Salem has been the main villain for 3 volumes, and we know fuck all about her. So, it's time for a...
Except for she essentially wants the relics.
Yeah.
That's about it.
She's basically fucking Eisen.
Pretty much.
It's time, even down to the whole merging with the Grimm, merging with the Hollows thing. But it's time for a moment.
Eisen at least had personality by the fucking end of the first season.
You're right.
Like, we knew shit about Eisen. We knew parts of his plan. We knew shit that was going on.
And we knew where he came from, too.
Exactly. There was time for him to be developed. You've had 3 seasons to develop your big bad, and you've done fuck all for it,
and
like you said.
The strange thing about it is it's not even like it wasn't planned, because it's very clear that Salem was planned from the beginning, because she's narrating episode 1. So it's like, okay, we can't even say that you pulled Salem out of your ass. It's just that you're failing to show anything about her.
That's
good.
Writing has never been Rooster Teeth's strong suit, as we've said many, 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 many times.
What they can do good is characters and comedy, and they did very, very well in this episode with that. And if you make a realistic character that's enjoyable to watch, your show is going to be good. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even need a plot at that point. Like, plot is important, but if you like the characters, you're golden.
You'll watch them do anything.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite quotes about writing. If you make enjoyable characters, your audience will watch them through anything. So I want a motive for Salem. I want to know what her deal is, what she wants, what's her deal? Well, and what's the history between her and Osmond? And I assume we're going to get more about Osmond's history considering the opening, so that's exciting. And I definitely want, when they get to Atlas, I hope that we see some characters from the past. I don't remember who from the Vital Festival was
Flint's team.
Oh, my favorite team. Okay. Give me Flint Cole and give me motherfucking Neon Cat motherfucker. I'm blanking on the name. Help me here.
Neon. Well,
oh, is it just Neon? That makes sense. I just remembered that she was literally Neon Cat.
I want fucking Reese. I want skateboard
waifu.
waifu.
Oh, that's your punk waifu. Right. Was she from here too?
Yes.
Damn. Oh my god.
Just
yeah.
give me.
No, so you're right, because it's writing 101. If you're going to introduce a team back then, it's common knowledge that they would come back. You've taken the time to establish them at least a little bit. They should come back and help with some shit. I would love to see them do some more stuff. Especially, can you imagine the reunion with Neon and Yang? The last time Neon was talking to Yang, she complimented... Well, actually, she made fun of her huge tits. So, that ought to be interesting. Now you're top-heavy.
But you'd think that was so out of fucking character.
It confuses me that Yang was embarrassed about being complimented that she had a nice rack, considering it's Yang.
She's the only character in the show's canon to have a panty shot. Confirmed, by the way.
Yang is fucking attractive. Let's just get that out there. Well, I mean, why hide it? She's attractive.
And Trevor Collins, you lucky motherfucker.
Okay. This is where we're going to end off this video. Has Trevor Collins, and anyone who doesn't know, he is the man who is married to the voice actress of Yang. Has
Dating,
Trevor Collins
not married.
Had cosplay roleplay sex and had her dress up as Yang? Yes or no? You think he's done it? I need to know.
I would assume he's put it in Yang.
I like to start off my morning with a Yang. From Trevor.
God.
Oh, beautiful. God bless you, Barbara. God bless you, Trevor. You guys are an amazing couple. I love it. And with that,
they are
Ruby's. Oh,
they are so pure.
One more time.
So, yeah. So let's just end it on that.
And with that,
there's no
Ruby's
topping that.
Please keep it up.